What's up, guys? I've got a story to tell, and I wanted to put it out there on the internet before I forgot all the details. As you guys know, I'm an extreme long distance shooter, and in May, it's March. In May, I am traveling to France to shoot King of 1 Mile and King of 2 Mile. Recently, I had to wire funds to the match directors to cover my entry fees, and so last year I paid with Zoom through PayPal. And it was no problem. You can actually go right on to your PayPal account and send money internationally. It worked really well. Well, this year I tried to do the same thing, and they declined my transaction. And they did it twice. So I called them and I said, hey, what's the problem? And they said, well, you're trying to send the money to an entity, and Zoom is only to pay individual to individual. And I said, well, you guys let me do it last year. And they said, well, that was a courtesy, and we can't do that any longer. Okay, well, that kind of sucks. So I go down to my bank, and I have two banks in Wichita, one for the business and one personal. And I go to my business bank, and I said, hey, I need to send some money internationally. Here's all the details. And they said, is your account a personal account or a business account? And I said, well, it's a business. I said, but it's a personal account, but I run my business through it. And they said, sorry, we cannot allow you to do that. We can only do that for a business. And I'm like, why? They said, because there's been some fraud, and so we cannot administer a personal wire transfer. Okay, so I go to my other bank, my personal bank, and they said, we don't do international wire transfers at all. Okay, great. So I end up messaging one of the guys that runs the event and said, hey, do you guys have a personal account that I can send this money to? They said, sure. So I end up going back through Zoom and sending it to one of the head guys at the sporting club where we're hosting the event. Got that taken care of. So the entire process took me a while to get through this, to send them, $450 or whatever it turned out to be. And I could have sent that money in 10 minutes with Bitcoin without having to ask anybody. And it's borderless and permissionless, and there's nobody that can tell me that I can't spend my money. And okay, so here comes the next story. I have a new dealer in Germany, and he wanted to pay me with a wire transfer. So I get that information from my bank, my business bank, and they said, yeah, here it is, but we don't have an IBAN number, and it would have been way quicker. They have to go, so my bank has a SWIFT number or an account number through another regional bank in Kansas City, NBT Bank, I think, out of Kansas City. So basically what they had to do is, with the SWIFT, wire the money to the bank in Kansas City, which deposited it into the account for the bank that my bank has with them, and then it forwarded final payment to me. And that transaction took 6 days. 6 days to wire money from Germany to the United States. And if we would have used Bitcoin, it would have taken 10 minutes. And the fees on that would have been about 40 cents. And that's why I think Bitcoin's important. Another thing, this is first world problems. This is first world problems too. Like I'm complaining about it taking 6 days to pay. I'm complaining about the hours it took me to send money to France. But that's first world problems. 4 billion people on this earth don't have access to banks at all, but they have cell phones. And Bitcoin is going to completely decimate the entire legacy banking system because it's so antiquated. It is like horse and buggy compared to a new Ferrari. You guys need to look this up. The U.S. is going to have to print more money. No matter what Trump's doing and Doge and all this shit and the savings that they're doing, it's fine, Okay, let's get rid of the waste and stuff. They're still going to have to print. There's no way around the $36 trillion in debt that we're in. You just watch. You better get some before it's too late. I've been advocating for Bitcoin since I first discovered it in 2013. It's 2025 now. People, oh, it's too late, it's too late, it's too late. Everybody thought it was too late. Until it goes to $1 million, until it goes to $10 million, then it's too late. Get on board. That's my story. I'm sticking with it. I love you all. Thanks for the support. I'm out.